Will Bayern Munich beat Bayer Leverkusen, or will they be Leverkusen? Yeah, that's my intro in today's video. Hey everyone, it is Finn here, that is FYWN, and I hope you guys are all doing super well. Once again, that is important to me, and today I bring you match week 30 predictions of the Bundesliga, and there are some good games in this match week. Please, if you do enjoy this content, do consider subscribing. It helps me out way more than you guys realize. So yeah, please make sure you go do that, and hey, follow Fincraft Football on Instagram, where I post 1-minute snippets of each video I do, so you can say, hey, let me watch this before I decide if I want to watch the entire video, which you guys will. It's pretty awesome. First match of match week 30 in the Bundesliga is going to be between Freiburg versus Borussia Mönchengladbach, which, looking at these two teams, it is 8th on the table versus 4th, but I don't think it's going to be that close. I think Borussia Mönchengladbach are going to get a pretty comfortable 3-1 win. Now, why is that? Thanks for asking. The reason for that is, if you look at Freiburg this season, I mean, since we've been back to this beautiful game of football, they haven't won a game yet. They're not looking that impressive overall. I mean, the only redeeming factor is they got a 1-0 loss versus Bayer Leverkusen, which is a good result versus a strong team, I guess, but at the end of the day, it's still a loss. And looking at Borussia Mönchengladbach, they've had some good results since football has returned, and you know what, they recently got a huge 4-1 win to Union Berlin, and on top of that, their strikers have been on top form this season. So you know what, I'll go ahead and say it, Borussia Mönchengladbach are glad to be back. The next match is the big match, in my opinion, of match week 30 in the Bundesliga, and it is going to be Bayer Leverkusen in 5th place versus 1st place Bayern Munich. It is the big game, and it is going to be such an exciting game to watch. But you know what, I'm going to give a 3-1 win to Bayern Munich, purely because if you look at the likes of Bayer Leverkusen, since they've been back, they've gotten some really good results. They got a very big win versus the likes of Borussia Mönchengladbach, which is impressive. They got a huge win against the likes of Werder Bremen, who, okay, they haven't done that well so far this season. We can sweep that under the carpet. But they did get a big loss versus Wolfsburg, which not that impressive, and you'd expect more from a top team in the Bundesliga. And they did get only a small win versus Freiburg, so it's not the most promising, but if you look at the likes of Bayern Munich, they are unstoppable. That's why I've given them this win. They've gotten 11 goals in their last 3 games. They are looking so unstoppable at the moment, and they haven't lost the game in the Bundesliga since the 14th of December, and I can't see Bayer Leverkusen really being the team that breaks that. Although anything can happen, they did win the reverse fixture earlier this season. Bayer Leverkusen did get a narrow 2-1 win versus Bayern Munich, so hey, anything can happen. Let's just say I won't be putting any money on my bets this week, because last match week predictions didn't go so well for me.
I don't want to get paid to lose. I want to win!
Next up, we have 16th place Dusseldorf, my favorite Harry Potter character, versus 7th place Hoffenheim. And if you look at their standings on the table alone, you would assume Hoffenheim is going to win, and well, that's not the reason, but I am giving Hoffenheim a 2-0 win. The reason for that is, if you look at the likes of Dusseldorf, they've just recently got a massive beating versus Bayern Munich, and I can't really see them recovering from that. I think they're going to be low in morale, and if you look at the likes of Hoffenheim, they've gotten 2 wins in their last 2 games. I think they're going to keep this momentum going, guys. And I mean, the only thing that does worry me is the fact that their top scorer this season, Kramaric, has only gotten 7 goals, so it isn't that promising. But I don't think they'll be conceding anything against Dusseldorf, considering the fact that their goalkeeper Bowman has, you know, the 6th most amount of saves in the season in the Bundesliga. So, you know what, that is a redeeming factor for them, and I am going to have to give Hoffenheim this win. The next match I have for you guys is going to be between Eintracht Frankfurt, which makes me sound so German. I love it so much. Well, at least to me. To everyone else, it probably sounds like the most English thing ever. But yes, Eintracht Frankfurt versus the likes of Mainz. Now, neither team have really done that well this season compared to what you would expect of them. Therefore, I am going to give Frankfurt a slight 2-1 win. But if you look at Frankfurt this season, I mean, they've recently just been going through a really long losing streak, which obviously isn't good for them at all. They did get a draw, though, versus Freiburg, who are higher up on the table. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. And they did get a win versus Wolfsburg, which, I mean, that is a very good thing for them. But if you look at the likes of Mainz, although they did beat Frankfurt on the 2nd of December, which was a very long time ago, they've only gotten 3 wins since then, and they've all been against small teams. So you know what, I'm very confident with going for Frankfurt on this one. And you know what, I do think Mainz's priority is staying up. No one's laughing at my jokes. Why?
Well, you're not very funny.
Oh. Game I have for you guys is going to be the great RB Leipzig versus Paderborn, which, hey guys, very soon on this channel I will start uploading an RB Leipzig FIFA 20 career mode series, which I can't actually explain how excited I am for that. And please let me know down in the comment section down below if you guys are excited for it. And yeah, please press this like button on this video if you are excited for that. I'm excited. Have I said I'm excited? In this prediction, I am going to give RB Leipzig a 3-0 win, which is a very comfortable win because it is a very strong team. Which is odd because if you look at the likes of RB Leipzig, they could have done a lot better than what they've currently been doing this season. Yes, they are competing for a top spot. They are currently 3rd in the Bundesliga, but they've literally drawn a 3rd of the games. Look at that. That is yellower than the cast members of Tiger King's teeth. Well, for those that have teeth, I guess. Yeah, and if you look at the likes of Paderborn, no matter what RB Leipzig's situation is, they're just not going to lose to Paderborn. I mean, they've lost literally 62% of the games this season. That isn't very impressive, and they just got a 6-1 loss versus the likes of Borussia Dortmund. So, you know what? I'm pretty happy going for RB Leipzig on this one. Next game I have for you guys is going to be Borussia Dortmund versus the likes of Hertha Berlin, which I just have to give this one to Borussia Dortmund, don't I? I'm going to give them a 3-1 win. And the reason I have given Hertha Berlin is, well, let's just first look at Borussia Dortmund. I mean, they've just gotten that massive 6-1 win. Jadon Sancho? Who the hell is Sancho? Jadon Sancho has just gotten a hat-trick. He's on top form, and same as Bayern Munich, lots of the players at Borussia Dortmund are really just hitting the prime of their career. It's just like a sweet spot in their career where they can seem to do absolutely nothing wrong, and they are looking very impressive. And I mean, Borussia Dortmund have only lost 2 games this year, and they were both against top 4 opposition, so I can't really see the likes of Hertha Berlin really impacting on that. But the reason I have given Hertha Berlin some sort of fighting chance with that goal is they have gotten 3 big wins since they've been back, and they've drawn against the likes of RB Leipzig. So once again, not in the realms of being impossible, but I mean, against Borussia Dortmund, I don't think so. Next up, we have 17th place Werder Bremen versus 6th place Wolfsburg, and you know what, I'm going to make this actually a very close result. Although you would assume they are miles apart, I am going to make it a very close 2-1 win to Wolfsburg. The reason I am giving 17th place Werder Bremen so much of a fighting chance is the fact that they did beat the likes of Schalke, which was very impressive, and they did draw against the likes of Borussia Mönchengladbach, so you know what, maybe their form could turn around, maybe not. But also looking at the likes of Wolfsburg, they've lost recently to Frankfurt, so you know that really isn't impressive, although they did get a very big win versus the likes of Bayern Leverkusen. So you know what, at the end of the day, I was going to go for Wolfsburg. But you know what, I do think maybe Werder Bremen do have a fighting chance in this one. Union Berlin versus Schalke is next, and guys, neither teams have really been performing that well this season. I mean, yes, Union Berlin are currently 14th on the Bundesliga table, which isn't impressive. Schalke are 10th, and I am going to have to make it a very low scoring game, and I am going to give it a 1-0 win to Schalke. Purely because if you look at the likes of Union Berlin, they have not been impressive since they've come back. They got a huge loss versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. They drew to Mainz, who haven't been doing well either this season, so that really was an opportunity to catch up. And they did lose against Hertha Berlin. Where if you look at the likes of Schalke though, I mean, I don't know if they have much of a fighting chance either. If you look at the likes of Schalke, their last win was in the beginning of January, which, yes, we did have 2 months of no football, but that is still very dreadful. So you know what, if anyone wins this game, it is going to be by, you know, the skin on their teeth. It is going to be scraping a win. The final match I have for you guys, which by the way guys, if you have enjoyed this video in general, whether you agree with the predictions or not, please do subscribe to this channel. It helps me out massively and it lets me know that you want me to continue the series. But we have Augsburg versus Cologne. Now looking at the likes of Augsburg, they recently did get a win versus Schalke, which I guess is somewhat promising for them. But at the end of the day, I am going to give Augsburg a 2-1 win over Cologne, where normally I would go for Cologne because I do like the team overall. I think there are more stars in my opinion, but this season Augsburg players have really outdone themselves. And if looking at Cologne, they haven't been that impressive this season. They did start to pick up on form though before the break started, before the 2-month break started. They broke all football fans' hearts, but yeah, they haven't really picked up since football has continued, since the return. So you know what, I'm not sure that they're going to pick up in this game versus Augsburg, although it is very much possible. So guys, once again, I hope you have enjoyed these match week predictions. Once again, if you did enjoy it, please let me know by subscribing to this channel and liking this video. That helps me out massively. And hey, go check out those 2 videos on the side. The top one is, do I think it is too early for the Premier League to start? And the bottom one is one that YouTube thinks that you would like on my channel. So yeah, go check those videos out. I'd really appreciate that. At the end of the day, I do love every single one of you. Stay awesome. This has been Finn, FYNN. Stay awesome. Cheers.